and we sat at the same table. I was dying to meet her. She was very attractive. She carried herself pretty well. Yes, with dignity. Koiki Mabo.
It was in 1957 when he came to my cousin's wedding. That afternoon I was putting decorations up. Now this guy was standing at the door, and he was, and you know how you feel, oh, somebody's watching you? And when I looked to the door now, he was standing up there. Well, I was ashamed, and I got down off the chair and I wouldn't do it.
That was it. I was about 22, I think. She was 17. Then we got married. Koiki Mabo.
With their hard-earned savings, Koiki and Benita move to Townsville, and Koiki begins work on the wharves.
If I went to the local shop and there were white people in the shop, it was automatically assumed that I would have to stand at the back of the shop and wait till all the white people were served, and then I could go forward, and it didn't matter how many white people came in, I could wait there all day, but I couldn't go forward until white people had been served first.
Sometimes it used to make me that wild. I used to sort of go away and think, well, I wish I wasn't black, you know?
Even when I went to school, I was told that Aboriginal people were very bad people.
On the wharves, union men urge Koiki to agitate for change. But in these times, anyone who stirs up change is easily labelled a communist.
Those of us who were asking for equal rights were cast as anti-Christian, anti-civilisation. Our words were the works of the devil. And so there was a right-wing hysteria about us, you see, and then there were accusations that we were trying to create a separate state and we were black nationalists. You know, half a dozen of us were going to create a separate black state.
There was people there who, whilst they might have agreed to what we were doing, but they would never come out and march with us or march behind the flag, so to speak. The first thing they thought of, that they would be jailed.
Oh yeah, you had to be gutsy, and he was gutsy. He sort of wasn't scared of anybody. He'd stand up and say his piece, you know.
The Advancement League was regarded as a communist organization. Everybody would look at me as a red commo.
But that sort of didn't worry Eddie at all. He just said, no, I want to do something for my people, and they're the one that's listening to us, so we just go with them. And then they sacked him from the harbour board and said that he was a communist.
Koiki eventually gets a job as a gardener at the ironically named James Cook University. Although he is happy here, he has been in exile from his island for over 10 years.
Well, with Dad, his memories of Murray Island came out through his artwork. He'd always draw Murray Island. I remember when I was growing up looking at him and him drawing it all the time, that Murray Island came easy to draw. All of us could draw Murray Island. We'd never been there, but we could draw it.
It's a longing for you to be there because that's where you originate from. That's where you come from, that's where your mother and your father is, where your ancestors are buried. The longing is still there because it's your home calling and your spirit calling you back to where you originally came from.
When he was a gardener at the university, and I would wander over to the library, you know, quite regularly I would see Koiki, a black labourer, sitting at one of the desks with these reports on the Torres Strait Islanders going through these, and you know, I would stop and say hello to him, as what he was looking at this time, and it was, I can still remember his pointing out to me that some of these anthropologists and linguists, etc., had got things wrong.
Noel Lewis invites Koiki to share his knowledge with his history students. Koiki tells them about the land he owns on the island of Mare.
I thought, gee, I'd better point out to him that he doesn't own that land. It's Crown land. And he was totally shocked at that, and said, you know, I'd like to see anyone take my land off me, you know, that sort of thing.
He couldn't understand why they were questioning him about this, about him owning land. He just knew that he did, you know, because his father gave it to him, and therefore, you know, then he'll hand it on to his children. But, you know, for them to question, it was like someone slapped you in the face.
My father told me, son, this land will belong to you when I die. Koiki Mabo.
In the Northern Territory, another group, the Yolngu, have also been told that their land